Well, I think this may go down as one of the worst teams Canada has fielded for the World Junior Tournament in the past 20 or so years. And I'm somewhat surprised because early on I put that video out, I thought they looked pretty good, but today they just completely fell apart as they lost to Czechia 3-2 in dramatic fashion to get knocked out of the World Juniors in the quarterfinal stage, making it just the third time in 26 years they haven't made it to the semis or beyond. Team Canada just felt like they had no identity, they weren't clicking, no team chemistry, even when they were dominating play like they did largely throughout the second and third of today's game. It was just a lot of mad scrambles and pucks thrown at the net. Anyway, the first was an absolute disaster for Canada. They ended with 7 shots and Mathis Rousseau let in 2 pretty damn soft goals, but even more concerning, Canada really had no good opportunities. They're what we thought would be big offensive powerhouses coming into the tournament like Macklin Celebrini, Matthew Poitras. They disappeared, honestly. It was almost like what last year's team would have been like without Bedard just absolutely lighting the lamp. And for comparison's sake, Celebrini had 8 points in 5 games this year. Bedard had 23 and 7. Anyway, in the second, Canada would get 2 goals back, both from unexpected scorers. The first came from Matthew Wood. He's been playing 4th line minutes, not a whole lot of ice time. The second from Jake Furlong, Moosehead's player, really defensive defenseman, does not put many shots on net. Rousseau really put it back together. He also had a penalty shot save in the first. In the third, he also looked really good. Team Canada felt like they were controlling play. They spent a lot of the period in Czechia's zone, but they weren't getting high quality scoring chances. Instead, it was a lot of pucks hitting the glass. Anyway, with 11 seconds left, Czechia would score a goal, which took a couple deflections. Nothing Rousseau really could have done on this one. Just took bounces, hit the back of the net, and that would be game. And I gotta give credit to Czechia. In the first and the later stages of the third, they really brought it to Canada. And what's impressive is that they did all of this with only 5 returning players from last year's silver medal team. This was also the first time Czechia has ever beat Canada in the medal rounds, and honestly, their team looks great, so I'm curious to see what they do in the semifinals and perhaps beyond. I think in the days and weeks after today, people will be asking what went wrong. Nobody really showed up offensively. Some shade is already being thrown at coach Al Letang, but I mean, for Canada as well, they had 1 returning player from last year's gold medal team. They were basically starting completely new, and it's not like these players are playing throughout the year or scrimmaging or anything like that. Very disappointing overall, though. Hopefully Canada can show up next year when they're in Ottawa. No promises. I am going to try to be on location for that. But again, not discounting anything Czechia accomplished. They were the better team today. They deserve the win. Excited to see how the rest of the tournament pans out. Anyway, until next time, guys, see you soon. And of course, let me know your thoughts down below.